Well, he did say he'd be right back.
I'll be right back!
That is right, it has finally happened. Matthew Lillard is back in the Scream franchise as Stu Mucker. So is Roman.
Roman Bridger, director.
Scott Foley's also coming back. We have loads to talk about. I am a massive Scream fan, obviously. So happy for this news. Made me even more hyped for Scream 7. Literally every movie I always think, could the killer be Stu? Would they just make it Stu? Like, it's none of the suspects, it's just Stu. And it's never Stu. And there I thought Five Nights at Freddy's was the closest we were ever going to get to Matthew Lillard back in a costume. And there I thought Five Nights at Freddy's was the closest we were ever going to get to Matthew Lillard back in a costume wielding a knife around.
Surprise, Sydney.
You guys know what brought him back, right? Peer pressure.
Peer pressure. I'm far too sensitive.
I'll rip you up, you Somehow Palpatine returned.
I thought she was dead. She looked dead, man. Still does.
In this video, we're going to be looking at theories into how these dead characters are coming back to this franchise. But before we get into a good old chat about it all, let's see how the internet reacted to this news. I hope we find out if his mum and dad were in fact mad at him. Did you really call the police?
Did you really call the police?
You missed your sorry ass, I
My mum and dad are going to be so mad at me.
My mom and dad are gonna be so mad.
Matthew Lillard's, he's just the best, man.
Boy.
Hit me with the phone, Dick!
I've been saying for years that I think he survived and bet the handwriting is rough to hint the TV messed his motor skills up a bit. Ooh. I mean, I imagine taking that to the head would do that. 90s kids will know how heavy those TVs were, okay? just have a thought. Imagine Matthew Lillard reading this being like, bitch, this is my best handwriting. We've actually already got a theory here from one of the internet reactions. Sydney finally loses it and she's tormented by the ghosts of her dead friends via survivor's guilt. Just so happens, Stu's one of these ghosts messing with her as the events of the movie play out. The real killer is actually Jamie Kennedy. Not another dead character. So Jamie Kennedy was Randy, the horror movie obsessed dude who told us all the rules in the original trilogy.
There's a formula to it. A very simple formula. Everybody's a suspect.
Even from Beyond the Grave in Scream 3.
Told you I'd make a movie someday. Huh?
Oh my god.
Here are some super trilogy rules. If you're watching this tape, it means, as I feared, I did not survive these killings here at Windsor College. And that giving up my virginity to Karen Kolchak at the video store was probably not a good idea.
Karen Kolchak?
Yes, Karen Kolchak.
Creepy Karen?
Shut up. She's a sweet person, okay?
So this theory obviously reimagines Randy as the killer, and for me, what's funny about this, if you Google any photos of him, he looks like a serial killer in every single one of them. Sorry, mate. Make it a Scooby-Doo and Scream crossover. Yes! Yes!
Everyone part like the Red Sea. It's me, Shizzy McCreepy, and my brother SD McCrawley. We are in the house and ready to partay. Hey, handsome.
Hello, baby.
What's funny about this is I've always described Scream as adult Scooby-Doo. Like, I loved Scooby-Doo as a kid. It was one of my favourite shows of all time. And as this user is alluding to, it's kind of funny how Matthew Lillard has been in both franchises as Stu and Shaggy. Just in one of them, he's not hunting the killer. He is the killer. Alright?
Now you gotta die.
Ruh-oh, Raggy. It'll be awesome to have you back. When you had TV fall on your head, maybe you didn't die and had facial reconstruction and befriend everyone and kill them all. Well, like Mission Impossible, just surprise Sydney, but he's not taking a mask off, he's just taking off like... Well, no, it's facial reconstruction, it's not even a mask then, is it? He's like, what, Hush from Batman?
What do you think? I think you're too late. You're a killer, a psychopath. I will stop you. Really? But you look just like...
Stu Mucker.
That'd be so funny. But then why bring Matthew Lillard back? Just as he has the same voice. It's just dubbed like Squid Game, but hopefully a lot better. I mean, it would be, it's the same language, but you know what I mean.
Watch a few movies, take a few notes. It was fun.
Stu Mucker and Sidney Prescott in Scream 7. Oh, I know where this is going.
Ray. What are you doing here?
It's the sequel.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, look, Cindy, about all that stuff that happened back in the day, let's just forget about it and try and move on, huh?
Yeah, forget about that.
But that's kind of a lot.
I know, but we
I'm his twin brother. I mean, didn't he have a nephew in like Scream 5 that we just killed off instantly? I did not plan that. I did not plan that. Remember when they introduced Stumacher's nephew and immediately killed him off? Wait, I've only just realised that's the guy from Smile. Is that the guy from Smile? Either that or it's a young Kenny from The Walking Dead. Stumacher killed Dewey in Scream 5 and attacked Gale in Scream 6, but y'all ain't ready for that conversation. No, we're not, because I'm putting that in the theories in a minute. Okay, speaking of kind of conspiracies, a lot of people have been posting this picture. So this is from Scream 6, and I want to kind of clear this up a bit. So this scene here in Scream 6 showed that Stu was dead because it shows all the previous Ghostface killers. Spoiler alert.
Then it was Jill Roberts and Charlie Walker. There's at the bodega. Roman Bridger was the only single Ghostface. Kudos to him for ambition. His mask was found at the Shrinks.
Which just leaves Mickey Altieri, Nancy Loomis, Stumacher.
And Billy Loomis, number 1, and the father of our chief suspect.
But then obviously everyone is bringing up this question mark saying that, oh, this signals that they weren't sure if he was dead. Actually, the real reason for this is because he was also a suspect for being
The Riddler.
Okay, no, it was actually because this list of killers was about the Ghostface in this movie using masks from previous killers, and the question mark was regarding the status of Stu's mask, which we did go on to see Quinn use later on in the movie. Again, we're going to touch on that in the theories. Imagine this is how he's in Scream 7 though. Like, he's technically in Scream 6, so like, it's just a photograph. They just show that in Scream 7. It's like, well, he technically returned. But seriously, if Stu is dead and you guys want him back, make an alternate universe where he lives. That's what I would do. Ha 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 ha, true, Spider-Man 2.0. Stumacher, No Way Home.
Okay, I remember.
God damn it, Stu!
What if he's a zombie Ghostface and the franchise takes a whole different turn? Oh my god, I fucking hope not, it'd be terrible. Okay, so this tweet is from 2 years ago, but obviously it's come up when I'm searching for reaction. Where is this image from? Because I've seen this a few times.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I've reversed image searched it, and it seems to be from Twin Peaks. Is that right? Somebody please let me know. It'd be cool if Stu did look like that to some degree. I mean, having a TV dropped in your head has got to cause some battle scars. So, because Scream are going to take this Fast and Furious route and start bringing back characters that have already been killed off, as I mentioned earlier, Stu isn't the only Ghostface killer coming back in Scream 7. Roman is also back.
God, it's Roman Reigns!
Not that Roman.
Roman Bridger, director.
The Ghostface from Scream 3, who was revealed to be Sydney's half-brother.
And brother.
Honestly, the surprise Sydney's never stopped with this poor girl. If you remember that, then you may well remember Roman is also kind of very dead.
Thanks.
No problem.
I know he faked his death once already, but honestly, I don't know how he faked this one. And I know people will then go, well, how could Stu survive this? In this universe, Dewey has been stabbed more times than a pincushion, and he kept coming back like the Terminator.
Are you kidding me? I've been stabbed 9 times. I've got permanent nerve damage and a fun little limp. You think I want to do that again?
So a TV to the head and a little bit of electrocution is nothing in this universe. But let's get into the theories on how both these characters could be returning. Theory number 1, flashbacks. Okay, obviously theory number 1 is a very simple one, flashbacks. Flashback through the door. I'm so stupid. The obvious way to not retcon the deaths of these characters, but some de-aging tech will be needed here. No offense guys, you still look great, but this isn't the early 2000s anymore. You can't have 40 to 50-year-old guys playing high school students. You go back and watch the first Spider-Man and Peter Parker. I think it's like one of the opening scenes.
You're 16?
Yeah, because like he's running for the school bus. And if you don't know what this movie is and you're just watching that scene, it clearly looks like an adult chasing after the school bus because presumably their kid is on it. Do you know what I mean? And then he gets on the bus and everyone else is like 45 too. And it's just like...
Yeah, like Flash the bully? Like, no.
Damn. I don't know how old he was, but...
Flash, you're like 40? Yeah.
Speaking of retcons, Roman's role in Scream 3 turned out to be a complete retcon of Scream 1. To refresh your memory, it was revealed that Roman was the one who talked Billy into becoming the original Ghostface killer and was the mastermind who planted the idea in his head that he have a partner as a potential fall guy.
Cotton was one thing. Everybody knew about that. But Billy's father? That was the key. Your boyfriend didn't like seeing his daddy in my film too much. He didn't like it at all. Once I supplied the motivation, all the kid needed was a few pointers. Have a partner to sell out in case you get caught, find someone to frame. It was like he was making a movie.
You. This is all because of you.
It's me, Austin! Oh, son of a bitch! It was me all along!
This is where our returning hero comes in. So maybe we'll see a flashback between these three characters to add some more to this lore. As we know, Skeet Ulrich has already been reappearing in the franchise as just Ghost, actually, no, minus the face. So a throwback prequel type scene between these three isn't completely out of the question. Even if Stu is still alive, we could still get this scene as he recalls his origins of becoming one of the original killers. Flashback could be really lazy, but if they used it to add more depth and a bit of a past prequel scene, could be kind of cool. Theory number 2, AI Stu. The Scream movies never shy away from setting themselves firmly in the time period that they were made in. The original, with its classic high school movie vibe, Jill's motivation in 2011 Scream 4 to become internet famous, and in Scream 5 we see the use of digital door locks.
All systems disarmed. Systems armed.
The true killer of Scream 7 could use AI to convince Woodsboro that Stu and Roman are back. Maybe they could have like the use of AI threat videos on social media, for example. We as the audience could enjoy seeing both characters back in their role as older ghost faces, older killers, and still enjoy the ride of trying to guess who the mastermind behind the AI is. This theory also again obviously avoids retconning anything with their previous deaths. Bringing characters back that have already died and addressing how that's possible.
I'm back, baby doll!
And talk of how movies always bring back legacy characters using technology, such as the use of de-aging or the controversial use of CGI in actors who have passed away. It would be very meta and therefore very on brand for a Scream movie. They love doing commentary on their own movies and movies as a whole.
The hardcore Stab fans hated it. You go on 4chan and dread it. All they're talking about is how Stab 8 pissed on their childhoods.
Okay, nerds, listen up. The way I see it, someone is out to make a sequel to the requel.
What's a requel?
You're beautiful, sweetie. Let's hold questions to the end.
Stab 1 took place in Woodsboro. Stab 2 took place in college.
So do we think that the killer is trying to copy the movies?
That is one possibility. Heroes now in college. Check. Suspicious new characters brought in to round out the suspect list and/or body count. Check, check, and check.
I don't like this.
But it can't just be about Stab 2.
Why not?
It would make sense if this were just a sequel. But we're not in a sequel, because nobody just makes sequels anymore. We're in a franchise, and there are certain rules to a continuing franchise.
I had a feeling.
So what's your thoughts on a potential AI Stu and Roman? Theory number 3, Stu has been there all along. Who's been killing everyone? It was Stu all along. So Scream 5 is my least favourite of the series, as much as I love Mikey Madison. Yeah, anyway. I think throughout the movie, the killers are painfully obvious. There's moments where you know it could only have been one of them, and it's likely going to be both. And it was. But the most memorable moment of Scream 5 is arguably the death of the man who has had this franchise on his back. Former WCW champion David Arquette, aka Doofy.
Special Officer Doofy.
I meant Dewey.
That's Deputy Riley today said.
So this is the theory we alluded to earlier in the Internet Reacts. This theory says that this was actually Stu that killed him, not Amber. Hey Mikey.
Sympathetic.
Look, I think this theory is mainly just copium from Die-Hard fans, to be honest, because I too did not like the fact that Amber was the one who got to kill Dewey. From what I've seen in my research about this theory, the main argument here from believers seems to be the height difference between the characters. Dewey's around 6 foot or just under, but Amber is 5'3". As far as I'm aware, this is never like stated in the movies. I'm obviously just going by the actors' real life heights here. But you can see here, Ghostface is much taller than Dewey here. And again, could this be Stu? No, it's platform shoes. Platform shoes, man. That's always the explanation for the Ghostface height in these movies. But again, I enjoy this theory, and this isn't the only point in Scream 5 that people think Stewie is involved. I said Stewie, didn't I? You can see how that happened. The other supposed evidence of Stu being in Scream 5 actually happens right at the beginning of the movie. Jenna Ortega's character Tara is attacked by a ghost face at the beginning. Now we know the two killers in this movie are Amber and Richie, and this theory points to the whereabouts at the time of both of those killers. Richie was confirmed to be with Sam at the time that her sister was being attacked.
I was with Sam in Modesto when Tara was attacked.
And Amber was at home on a live video. Obviously the explanation here is that this video was pre-recorded and it could still be Amber on the phone with Tara and Richie in the Ghostface costume. But again, people like to point to the height difference between the characters and that neither Richie or Amber look tall enough to be this Ghostface here. So again, it's either Stu or the platform shoes. But could it have been Stu on the phone with Tara? I mean, he was pissed off that Billy is the one who's remembered more as the original killer.
Who was the killer in Stab 1?
Oh, I know this one, you It's Billy Loomis! It's Billy Loomis, and he was Sydney's boyfriend, and he was played by Luke Wilson, and I got you, asshole! I got it! I got it right!
Oh, I'm sorry, Tara, but that's just not correct.
No, it is. It is, that is right.
The correct answer is Billy Loomis and Stu Macher. There are 2 killers in the original Stab. I'm afraid someone's gotta die now.
The theory of Stu ghost-facing around in the background isn't just limited to Scream 5. In Scream 6, some believe that he was the one who attacked Gail. Now, it is actually confirmed that this is Stu's mask. As I mentioned earlier, we hear Quinn reveal that in the final act of the movie.
I got Stu Macher's mask.
But obviously people think this could be Stu himself. Now, one thing I find really interesting here is, if you remember in Scream 6, Quinn, one of the killers, did fake her own death earlier in the movie.
You didn't see that one coming, did you?
Yeah, because you died.
Kinda didn't. Though, it was a good way to get off the suspect list.
Then she's wearing Stu's mask and saying that he's her favourite killer.
I got Stu Macher's mask. He was my favorite.
Is faking your death something your favourite killer did also, Quinn? Again, this theory is all a bit like Palace's chances of winning the FA Cup this season. Just thin. I do question though that if this is Quinn, she took a frying pan to the face and showed no signs of bruising later on. But same as the height, strength and general athleticism people seem to gain once they put on the old ghosty costume, I think that's just some movie magic and suspense of belief we gotta have here. But hey, Scream 3 retconned a lot of Scream 1. Who's to say Scream 7 won't do the same with 5 and 6? I do personally like this idea of it being a Fast and Furious-esque retcon of older movies. One thing I love about movie franchises and any form of entertainment really is continuity. As silly as Fast and Furious will be, I like the fact that they make the effort to make the continuity work with flashbacks, and you think, okay, that's ridiculous, but hey, I appreciate them explaining it. Big plot hole when you do so, like for example, all of Tokyo is stuck in 2006 for some reason. Got an older video explaining all of that, but I appreciate the effort nonetheless. But I do really like this idea though that Stu's been ghost facing around a bit, maybe during the era of other killers. Maybe he's been killing like Flash Thompson from Spider-Man, because we saw there's plenty of wannabe ghost face killers out there who haven't also had big stories or focuses in this world. Theory number 4, bringing back the original plans for Scream 3. The original idea plan for Scream 3 was in fact the return of Scooby-Doo. The ending of Scream 3, pitched by producer Kevin Williamson, was going to reveal not only had Stu survived, but he had also been masterminding high school kids who wanted to be copycat killers from his jail cell. Sadly though, a terrible real-life incident happened that scrapped these plans and forced Scream 3 to switch up ideas, and rightly so. Which is one of the reasons for the movie set Hollywood setting for the 3rd movie, and it not taking place in high school.
What a film it turned out to be, huh?
I think Hollywood was definitely the right idea to replace the school with too, by the way. Just like I said earlier, given how much these movies love to be a commentary on themselves and other movies, Hollywood setting just makes perfect sense. It just fits like a glove into this franchise. But Kevin Williamson is actually returning to direct Scream 7.
And direct.
So we could see him use some of the concept of Stu as this sick mentor type or being a mastermind behind the scenes be worked back into the story. Theory number 5.
Hallucinations.
So this theory is just as short and sweet as Baby Groot, and it's that Stu and Roman could return as
hallucinations.
We've of course already seen Billy Boy here return this way, so hey, maybe they'll do the same with Sydney being haunted by her old friend and her half-brother. I think this one's unlikely to be honest, and it just feels very lazy and repetitive if they do it, but it doesn't mean to say they won't go in that direction. Lastly, some fun trivia to end on that you may or may not know. Matthew Lillard already returned as Stu Macher in Scream 2. In a blink and you'll miss it moment, he is seen making an Easter egg cameo with hair more like Fred than Shaggy, and he's being greeted at a party by Scream 2 killer Mikey, not Mikey Madison. Oh, sorry.
You've simped enough. That is quite enough.
Little passing of the torch between Ghostface of Scream past and present going on right under your nose. Anyway, that's all for this video. Let me know down below your theories on how Stu could come back and how Roman can come back. He's kind of being forgotten about in this because he did say he's going to have a small role in it, but he could be lying. He could be Andrew Garfielding all of us. If you enjoyed this video, please do drop a like. If you didn't enjoy it, drop a dislike. It all helps me out with the algorithm. Drop a subscribe while you're down there. Check out the other fun videos on this channel. Would love to keep you around. Take care of yourselves, mates. Don't let the old bastards in life grind you down. F the begrudges. And if a stranger rings you asking what your favourite horror movie is, just hang up. Why does nobody do that in these movies? Anyway, see you in the next one.
I'll be right back.
Just do what's best for me. Don't listen to my enemies. They're just
just full of jealousy. Yeah, this legacy, you gon' see what's left of me. You gon' see success in me. You ain't seen the rest of me. I just wanna be the best at what I know, better than the rest, just watch me grow. Put me to the test and watch me go. This is my quest, I'ma make it known. They call me obsessive, oh I know. Call me selective with my notes.
What's your favorite scary movie?